Mga programa para sa maganda at ligtas na kinabukasan sa mga rehiyon naman ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong Biyernes sa DOST Report. Ibabahagi sa atin ni DOST Cordillera Administrative Regional Director Nancy Mantog ang kanilang REACH project or Radio Networks Establishment for All-Weather Communications in the Highlands. Sports City naman ang ipaliliwanag ni Ms. Virginia G. Bilguera, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST Region 2. At mga programang may kinalaman sa Disaster Risk Reduction Management naman ang ibabahagi ni Mr. Noel Ahok, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST CARAGA Region. Alamin yan at iba pang Science for the People projects ng Department of Science and Technology mula mismo kay DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Pakalutukan lahat ng yan sa DOST Report tuwing Biyernes alas 4 ng hapon sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel. Mga napapanahong balita tungkol sa agam at teknolohiya para sa bayan ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong Biyernes dito lang sa DOST Report. Magandang agham Pilipinas. Ako po si Ol Miranda, ang inyong kapatid sa Mabawid at kasama po natin ang kalihim ng kagawaran ng agam at teknolohiya ang nag-iisang DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Magandang araw po si Boy.
Magandang araw, Onin, at magandang araw sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
At para naman sa ating panayam mamaya, ibibida sa atin ang DOST Cordillera Administrative Region, DOST Region 2 at DOST CARAGA ang kanilang mga programa para sa unlad at ligtas na kinabukasan. Pero bago yan, pakinggan muna natin ang mga balitang hatid ni Sec Boy.
Salamat, Onin. At gaya ng dati, ang ating pagre-report ay mag-uumpisa sa kalusugan, susundan ng kabuhayan, susundan ng kaayusan, at ang pinakahuli ay ang kinabukasan. At ang una nating report ay nanggagaling sa DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development or PCHRD. Ang DOST PCHRD ay nakipag-partner sa Medical Research Council ng United Kingdom or UK para makapagtayo ng first diabetic retinopathy telemedicine screening program in our country. This is one of the projects under the Newton Agham program between DOST PCHRD and the Medical Research Council of UK. And the project is entitled the UK-Philippines Remote Retinal Evaluation Collaboration in Health, Diabetic Retinopathy, or REACH-DR, which aims to establish the country's first diabetic retinopathy telemedicine screening program, or DRSP, in the Philippines. Establishing a local DSRP will help in the timely identification of eyes at risk for diabetes-related blindness and visual loss. The project is headed by Dr. Paulo Antonio Silva of the Philippine Eye Research Institute of the National Institutes of Health at the University of the Philippines, Manila, in partnership with Queen's University in Belfast. The project commenced in 2019 and is currently in its third and last year of implementation until 2022. On September 21, 2021, the Philippine Eye Research Institute, in collaboration with the Queen's University of Belfast of the UK, successfully deployed a validated artificial intelligence algorithm for diabetic retinopathy screening, marking the first use of artificial intelligence in ophthalmology in the Philippines. Okay, the next is a report by our DOST Region 3. They have supported local development of COVID-19 test kits. Responding to the government's call to produce locally developed and affordable diagnostic kits that can effectively detect the virus, the DOST Region 3 provided research funding assistance to the Angeles University Foundation Center for Advanced Research and Innovation, or AUF CARI, to undertake research to develop test kits for COVID-19. A number of promising test kits were developed by the AUF CARI research team in the laboratory. One of these kits uses blood sample, okay, COVID-19 IgM and IgG capture enzyme immunoassay to detect an individual's immune response against the virus. This test can be used to distinguish early exposure and past exposure to the virus. Furthermore, it may also be used to test if the immune system responded to a COVID-19 vaccine. In addition, saliva-based test kits were also produced that can detect both SARS-CoV-2 antigen or COVID-19 salivary antigen test kit and antibodies against SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 saliva IgA test kit in the saliva of individuals being tested for the disease. This saliva-based test can detect active infection and recent exposure to the virus. Furthermore, use of saliva-based testing is more advantageous than current sample collection process for COVID-19 testing since saliva is easier to collect and it also eliminates the risk associated with swabbing. The locally developed COVID-19 test kits were validated clinically during the research and development stage, resulting in a very satisfactory accuracy of at least 90%. This test, when commercialized locally, can significantly contribute to the government's goal on early detection in dealing with COVID-19. The third is a report from our DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute, and this is regarding the dissemination of the initial results of their SAGIP project. Okay, I will explain what is SAGIP. So our DOST FNRI has already held the second episode of their food and nutrition talks, and that one focused on nutrition for the next generation. This was done last September 27, 2021 via Zoom. The topics discussed were Philippine dietary reference intakes and Pinggang Pinoy for teens, and the DOST FNRI's SAGIP project. SAGIP stands for Supporting Adolescent Growth in the Philippines, a pilot study in Marikina City. The forum answered questions focused on proper requirements for vitamin A, multivitamin supplements, differences in nutrient requirements for age groups and sexes, need for additional nutrients to boost immunity, drivers for instilling healthy eating habits among teens, family orientation on healthy food choices and preferences, sustainability of programs, considerations made in choice of recipes, acceptability of recipes, measures for indicators, and budget of the Department of Education for feeding program. So this is the SAGIP progress report. Now, we move on to kabuhayan. And the first item here is a report from our DOST Region 10 in northern Mindanao, and this is their assistance to the Subanen farmers to mechanize abaca fiber production. This is an indigenous people's community. Through the CEST, or Community Empowerment through Science and Technology Program of DOST Region 10, Subanen abaca farmers of San Lorenzo Ruiz Farmers Organization Incorporated receives abaca spindle stripping machines and platform scales, as well as an initial 2,000 pieces of abaca seedlings, together with training on sustainable abaca production through the DA PhilFIDA. The assistance is projected to increase the income of the 22 farmer beneficiaries by as much as 195,000 each. I guess this is per year. The organization actually has a 22-hectare abaca plantation, which assures raw material sustainability. Among their target markets are the New Tech Pulp Incorporated in Iligan City and two other companies in Tudela, Misamis Occidental. San Lorenzo Ruiz is a geographically isolated community in Sinacaban, Misamis Occidental. The next report comes also from Region 10, and this is their extension of science and technology assistance to local dairy farmers in Iligan City. And this is through a women-led nonprofit organization called Centro sa Maayong Magbalantay Incorporated with 30 active small-scale dairy farmer members based in a geographically isolated community area in Iligan City. This will significantly improve its dairy facility and products through our community empowerment through science and technology program. Through the collaborative partnership of the DOST and the local government unit of Iligan City, the association, SMMI, will receive food-grade, cost-efficient, and fully mechanized equipment for ensuring the production of the best and safest quality fresh milks. DOST Region 10 will also be assisting them in the packaging of bottled, fresh, and flavored milk, adhering to FDA standards and other consultancy services. Now, from Region 2, the Cagayan Valley area, we have a report that the local government unit of Tuguegarao has launched the project Sarai. Sarai is actually a technology or a set of technologies developed with the support of DOST, and this was done by UP Los Baños. And it means smarter approaches to reinvigorate agriculture as an industry, Sarai, in the Philippines. Now, the project launch is one of DOST Region 2 and Tuguegarao's initiatives in building smart Ibanag City. This is part of the Cagayan Valley Smarter City Belt. Smarter agriculture is one area that the city would want to engage in considering its agricultural landscape. Project Sarai aims to help the city's agricultural sector in adapting to smart technologies by educating the local farmers through trainings and webinars under the Sarai Escuela program. And as an agriculturally dependent city, okay, of course, Sarai aims to help this particular area in crafting crop advisories that are targeted for major crops in Tuguegarao. This include rice, corn, and banana. Okay, and that is actually one application area, okay, or region for Sarai. Now, from north, we move south, and DOS Region 7, based in Cebu, reported their support for the quality improvement of bamboo products, particularly in Alegria, Cebu. Okay? They provided technology support to facilitate the implementation of an enhanced bamboo processing technology initiative in the municipality of Alegria. It was commemorated last September or launched last September 29, 2021 with the signing of a memorandum agreement between DOST Cebu, this is the Provincial Science Technology Center for the province of Cebu, and the municipality of Alegria under the Community Empowerment through Science and Technology or CEST program. It aims to provide science and technology interventions for the commercial development of community-based enterprises for the production of bamboo products. Under the project, the community will be upgrading its basic tools to enhance essential gender-inclusive bamboo processing technologies to expand overall production output and also to produce bamboo products with good quantity and quality. We move from Region 7 to Region 8, and this is a report that our program called iStart, okay, Science and Technology for the Regions, in Leyte established an intelligent green box in La Granja de Reina Farms. This is actually, I believe, the second one. The first one was set up in Tacloban, right in the area of the Eastern Visayas State University. And through the DOST Region 8 and the iStart program, they introduced a customized indoor farming technology called the Intelligent Green Box or IGB, which is suitable to the climatic conditions in Eastern Visayas that is frequently hit by severe weather conditions. The IGB or Intelligent Green Box technology aims to optimize indoor farming technology suited to its weather conditions, which allows the growing of high-value crops in a climate-controlled environment. This project is being guided by consultants led by academician Dr. Alvin Culaba and balik scientist Dr. Joel Coelho of the University of Arizona. And the first research station, as I mentioned, was established at the Eastern Visayas State University last year, wherein a bioimagineering team was also formed to learn about the technology. Still on agri-technologies, our DOST PICARD or Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources R&D through their Technology Transfer and Promotions Division partnered with the Department of Agriculture's Bureau of Agricultural Research. And the purpose was so that they can highlight the technologies, okay, that will be useful to our farmers and farming community. So it's really a pitching of mature technologies that have been developed through DOST card support to potential investors and users. So they highlighted something like 19 technologies. Some of them are for farm mechanization, others are for food processing technologies, and these are all aligned, okay, to the research outputs that they have, okay, and now they are moving to technology transfer and commercialization of these generated technologies, okay. These are all geared towards agricultural productivity, business competitiveness, and income improvement of farmers and fisher folk. Now we move to kaayusan. And the first report here, of course, is the deployment of our small satellites, Maya 3 and Maya 4, last Wednesday, October 6th. They are now in orbit after deployment from the International Space Station. Maya 3 and Maya 4 are the first Philippine university-built cube satellites, okay? And they weigh approximately 1.15 kilograms each with 10 centimeter cubic frames. So these CubeSats house components that are designed to demonstrate nanosatellite-based remote data collection systems and optical imaging. So the CubeSats are now moving along an orbit similar to the IIS, which is an altitude of approximately 400 kilometers. These latest CubeSats were built under the program called Space Science and Technology Proliferation through University Partnerships under the Stamina for Space program. And this is funded by the Department of Science and Technology and implemented by the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and the DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute. Of course, the human resources involved here were the Master of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics Engineering at UP Diliman, majoring in Space Engineering. They are all DOST scholars, and this first batch were the ones who developed and made Maya 3 and Maya 4, of course, with the collaboration also with the Kyushu Institute of Technology in Japan. But unlike Maya 1 and Maya 2, which were assembled in Japan, Maya 3 and Maya 4 were assembled here in the Philippines. The next one is a report from our DOST Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. And this is the inauguration of the first cluster center for earthquake and tsunami monitoring. This is actually a move taken by our DOST people, considering that all of the, shall we say, monitoring that is being done at a large scale is done in the main headquarters of the Institute in Diliman, Quezon City. But there is a realization that we need to have mirror monitoring centers, okay, in the other regions of the country. And the first one is the one that was set up as the so-called Mindanao Cluster Monitoring Center for Earthquake and Tsunami. Okay, that was inaugurated last September 24, 2021. And there were actually many participants who joined the launching, coming from national and regional government, as well as local government units and the academe and media. So the establishment of this center in the Davao Seismic Station is one of the institute's strategies to ensure service continuity of its national earthquake and tsunami monitoring operations in cases of major disruptions in key operations of the PBOX Earthquake and Tsunami Monitoring Center in Quezon City. The cluster center consists of 9 staff-controlled seismic stations, 18 satellite telemetered seismic stations, and 12 sea-level tsunami detection stations and its alerting stations in Mindanao. It features near real-time display and monitoring of the whole Philippine seismic network, upgraded computer systems for data acquisition and processing, newly installed tools for decision support, mapping and information dissemination, and servers that are capable of near real-time streaming of seismic waveforms and real-time instrumental intensity reporting. DOST Bolt currently has 111 seismic stations in the country and plans to establish another cluster center in the Visayas. Of course, we are very proud to say that the location of this Mindanao Cluster Monitoring Center is the Philippine Science High School located in Davao. This is the PSHS Southern Mindanao Campus. And present during the launching were, of course, the director of the Philippine Science High School Southern Mindanao Campus, and of course, the officials of the Office of Civil Defense and the Davao City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. The next one is a report where I, as the OST Secretary, joined the high-level meeting on digital public goods that was organized as a session during the 76th UN General Assembly. So on September 29, 2021, I participated in the high-level meeting, which is entitled From Open Software to Open Society, Digital Public Goods for Inclusive Digital and Social Transformation. And as I said, this was held during the high-level segment of the 76th United Nations General Assembly. During the meeting, I highlighted the DOST's strategies on strengthening the open source community through funding several open source projects such as our Bayanihan Linux, our Open Technology Business Incubator for startups, iGov Philippines, and DOST ASTI's Philippine Research, Education, and Government Information Network, or PREGINET. The datasets to support research and education in weather, disaster, space-based data for various applications, and COVID-19 initiatives were also made available. So we advocate for full digitalization of the delivery of public services and partnering with startups to promote digital public goods. I also suggested concrete recommendations to the global community, which included, of course, funding support, policy advocacy, capacity building initiatives, international communities, intergovernmental agreements, educational programs, and the having repository of open source projects. Okay, I of course mentioned that our DOST Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technologies (R&D) or PSHERD has been working with UNICEF to increase awareness in the Philippines on digital public goods. So I was joined by the ministers from India, Kyrgyzstan, Singapore, Sierra Leone, Uzbekistan, and Switzerland during this UN General Assembly high special session on digital public goods. During the wrap-up session, the organizers recognized the Philippines for its good examples in implementing initiatives in digital public goods. The event was hosted by the Digital Public Goods Alliance and was supported by the UN Office of the Secretary General's Envoy on Technology and the United Nations Development Program. Okay, from here, we move to a report coming from DOST Region 11 based in Davao, uh, which strengthens the so-called science, engineering, technology, and innovation uh, program project activities by utilizing a scorecard for the Sustainable Development Goals. So with the goal of providing a tool for science, engineering, technology, and innovation, or SETI, for SETI champions, policymakers, funding institutions, and other SETI partners in Davao, Northern Mindanao, and CARAGA in order to measure the responsiveness of specific projects in attaining global goals. The group from Mindanao through our DOST Region 11, Region 10, and CARAGA in collaboration with the Hydrology for Environment, Life, and Policy, Davao Network, and the National Research Council of the Philippines held a workshop on a scorecard for sustainable development goals. And this was done on September 7, 2021. The next report and the last one under Kaayusan is from our DOST Science Education Institute, which conducted their fourth webinar uh, on Filipino Patriot, on the Filipino Patriot Project. This is the series on community resiliency. So the Filipino Patriot Project of DOST Science Education Institute conducted the fourth webinar on understanding community resiliency with the title The Filipino Behavior and Economic Development During the Pandemic, How Resilient is It? This was held on September 24, 2021 via Zoom. The activity was participated by 1,431 DOST scholars nationwide, okay, which includes both undergraduate, graduate, and scholar graduates. And this is actually, as I mentioned, part of the Filipino Patriot Project, which is really trying to inculcate in the minds of our scholars that they have a responsibility to their communities and to our country. Next is the series of reports on kinabukasan. The first one is the signing of a memorandum of agreement between the Department of Science and Technology and Mapua University. And this is the offering of a PhD by research in the field of material science with specialization in nanotechnology. And the signing was done last October 5, 2021 to formalize the partnership in offering graduate program, a PhD by research in the area of material science with specialization in nanotechnology. This move seeks to develop expertise in material science with focus on nanotechnology and increase the pool of nanotechnology experts in our country. Mapua University will confer the degree, and this program will start this coming November 2021. So successful applicants to the program will receive scholarships from the DOST Science Education Institute, and they will be allowed to conduct their researches at the DOST Industrial Technology Development Institute, have access to the Institute's nanotechnology facilities, and also the facilities of our advanced materials testing laboratory. or Admatel. So the experts from ITDI will act as advisors or co-advisors of the graduate students endorsed by Mapua University. So the focus in this initial offering will be on biomedical applications, human security, and nutraceuticals, which are, of course, among the priorities in the harmonized national R&D agenda. The next one is still involving the Industrial Technology Development Institute of DOST, and this is the report that they garnered silver and bronze awards at the 7th Asia Packaging Network International Packaging Symposium that was hosted by the University Putra, Malaysia. The DOST ITDI, through its Packaging Technology Division, garnered the Bronze Award in its presentation entitled Data Acquisition of Shock and Vibration Values in the Last Leg Delivery Motorcycle and Closed Van of Small Products within Metro Manila. Meanwhile, the other project, which is entitled Evaluation of Acetaldehyde Content in Different Brands of PET Bottled Drinking Water in the Philippines, won a silver award. So this study evaluated the acetaldehyde content of PET bottled water commercially available in the local market and determined the concentration range with respect to different brands. Now we move over to halal, and this is another DOST ITDI achievement. The DOST ITDI Halal Cosmetics and Toiletries Project received First Prize Award at the 5th International Symposium and the 12th Scientific Conference Poster Paper Research Competition. DOST ITDI was awarded first prize out of the 21 total entries at the 2021 Metro Manila Health Research and Development Consortium 5th International Symposium and 12th Scientific Conference Poster Paper Research Competition under the professional category. This was held on September 25, 2021. Okay, and their entry is entitled Halal Compliant Personal Care Products Promoting Health and Hygiene Amidst COVID-19. So that study aimed to provide personal care products formulated using halal compliant ingredients and adhered to guidelines only permissible to Sharia principles. 2 halal compliant personal care products were developed: moisturizing and whitening soap, and varieties of shampoo with hair growth promoting properties. These products were characterized in terms of organoleptic properties and physicochemical composition. The heavy metals content and microbial load were also evaluated to ensure the safety of the consumers. The project team is led by scientist Dr. Rosalinda C. Torres of the DOST Industrial Technology Development Institute. The next one is a report from our DOST CARAGA region, and this is on their installation of digital science libraries in 5 public schools located in geographically isolated areas. To supplement blended learning amid the pandemic and to help the students cope with the new normal in education, especially in the rural and geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas in the province, DOST CARAGA, through the Provincial Science Technology Center in Surigao del Norte, installed and deployed Starbook systems in 5 public schools in Malimono, Surigao del Norte. They received the Starbook system in their computer laboratories last May 17, 2021. After the installation, the schools, IT personnel, and librarians were capacitated or will be capacitated on system management. The next is our report from the DOST Science and Technology Information Institute, which actually conducted 3 online sessions from September 27 to 28. Okay, this is online library literacy, and this was upon the request of 3 schools the Asian Institute of Technology and Education Incorporated in Chaong, Quezon, for their college students. This was done on September 27. Also, the Asian Institute of Technology and Education in Chaong, Quezon, for their senior high school students, also on September 27. And the All-in-Sterg College Incorporated, also located in Chaong, Quezon. So the DOST STII Online Library Literacy Program is an online version of library tour and orientation wherein requesting stakeholders are educated on how to avail of DOST STII services and resources, how to research in the DOST STII library by using the library's online public access catalog, and how they can request materials online, as well as how to navigate the different versions of the DOST Star Books. The next one is, again, the Philippine participation in the 18th Science, Technology, and Society Forum annual meeting held in Japan. Of course, this was participated virtually. So I represented the Philippines in the 18th Science and Technology Ministers Roundtable, an opening session. And actually, this is an annual meeting that seeks to build a global network based on trust and providing a platform for open discussions about science and technology advancements for the benefit of humanity. So in the Science Technology Ministers Roundtable, which is a side event of the Science, Technology, and Society Forum, 50 science and technology ministers from around the world exchange views on science, technology, and innovation initiatives taken by each country to address the global concerns and to achieve economic development. The last item in the report is the DOST spotlights spin-off technologies at the ASEAN Next 2021 Summit. Okay, so over 60 spin-off enterprises from all 10 ASEAN member states joined and showcased their innovative technologies during the ASEAN Next 2021 with the title ASEAN Summit on Spin-off Technologies. This was held virtually last October 5. The Department of Science and Technology of the Philippines, with the support of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, hosted this ASEAN Next event that brought together representatives from research and development institutions, academe, businesses, industry, and governments in the ASEAN region involved in generating spin-off technologies that are readily available for adoption or commercialization. These technologies are in three broad fields: agriculture, aquatic, and natural resources. That's number one. Number two is health. And number three is industry, energy, and emerging technologies, which were featured in the summit's pitching session. We were honored with an opening message or address from President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, highlighting the key role of spin-off technology enterprises in the development of the country and of the ASEAN region, especially towards a robust post-COVID-19 economic recovery. We also had messages from the Secretary General of ASEAN, Dato Lim Jock Hoy. Okay, the event witnessed also the turnover of the ASEAN Next platform from Thailand to the Philippines. The virtual turnover ceremony was graced by Minister Anek Lautamatas from the Thai Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Innovation, and yours truly, because we were the ones who received the ASEAN Next platform. So this is our report covering the past week, and we thank our agencies and officers for their contribution. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig.
Maraming salamat po, Sec Boy, na tumayan po inyong kabuuan ng DOST Updates para sa nadaang linggo sa aming pong pagbalik mga proyekto ng Department of Science and Technology Regional Offices para sa kinabukasan ng kanilang mariyon at buong bansa ang ating pong tatalakayin. Matapos po ang ilang paalala. Kayo po'y nakatutok sa DOST Report para sa ikalawang yugto ng DOST in the region. Tatlong representante mula sa iba't ibang DOST regional offices muli ang ating mga kapanayam ngayong araw na ito.
Noong nakaraang linggo ay narinig natin sina Director Jojo Patalinghug, sila Director Rowen Gilonga at Director Al Alamban na nagkwento sa atin ng kanilang mga proyekto na nakatutulong para sa kabuhayan ng mga mamamayan sa kanilang rehiyon. Ngayon naman ang ating mga panauhin na namumuno sa ating mga DOST regional offices ay ikukwento sa atin ang kanilang mga programa na may kinalaman sa pagsusulong ng isang ligtas, okay, at maunlad na kinabukasan sa kanilang rehiyon.
Tama po si Boy para sa ikalawang yugto ng DOST in the regions. Makasama po natin sina Director Nancy A. Bantog mula sa DOST Cordillera Administrative Region, si Ms. Virginia G. Bigera, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST Region 2, at si Mr. Noel Ahok, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST CARAGA, at ibabahagi nila ang Science, Technology, and Innovation towards a resilient future.
Onin, magsimula tayo sa Cordillera Administrative Region. Magandang araw sa iyo, Director Nancy Bantug.
Magandang araw din po, Sec Boy, at ang kasama ko ngayon na si OIC Bilgera at saka si OIC Ahok at lahat ng mga nakasubaybay sa ating programa. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat.
Una po sa lahat, Director Nancy, ibida po ninyo sa amin ang CAR. Saan po makilala ang Cordillera Administrative Region?
Marami pong salamat sa tanong na yan, Sir Onin. Ang Cordillera Administrative Region o CAR ay itinatag noong ika-15 ng Hulyo 1987 sa pamamagitan ng Executive Order number 220. Ito ay binubuo ng mga probinsya ng Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga at Mountain Province at ang dalawang lungsod na Tabuk City at Baguio City. Ang sentro ng komersyo at industriya ay ang tinaguriang Summer Capital of the Philippines, ang Baguio City. Base sa 2020 census, ang populasyon ng CAR ay may mahigit kumulang na 1.8 milyon katao o 1.65% ng kabuuang populasyon ng bansa. Ang lupain ng Cordillera ay isang landlocked region with a total area of 1,829,368 hectares or 18.29 square kilometers. About 33% of the region's tableland lies 1,000 meters or above sea level. Kaya ang klima ay mas malamig kumpara sa ibang mga lugar sa Pilipinas, kaya't ito ay isang tourist attraction, lalong-lalo na pag summertime. Being a mountainous region, it hosts 13 major watersheds, and it is home to diverse ecological system that is unique to fauna and flora. Masagana rin ito sa kalikasan na angkop sa pagsasaka at agrikultura. In fact, almost 80% of highland vegetables come from Cordillera region. It is also known for its strawberry and cut flowers, especially roses and chrysanthemums. It is no wonder that the municipality of La Trinidad is known as the Rose Capital. Sentro ng edukasyon sa Luzon ang Baguio City, kung saan matatagpuan ang 6 sa mga kilalang state universities and colleges, maging ang University of the Philippines Baguio at 3 bantog na pribadong universidad. Kaya makikita na rin natin ang paglaganap ng research development and innovations activities dito sa Cordillera Administrative Region dahil sa pagkakaugnayan natin sa mga nasabing mga pamantasan. Kilala ang Cordillera sa kanyang kultura. 2/3 ng populasyon ng rehiyon ay indigenous peoples. Kaya ito ang pinaka natatanging ethno-linguistic region sa Pilipinas. Malalim ang pagpapahalaga ng mga tao sa tradisyon at kultura para mapanatili ito para sa mga susunod na henerasyon. Buhay na buhay po ang turismo sa rehiyon dahil sa ipinagmamalaki nitong mga magagandang tanawin. On the downside, which is relatively associated with our mountainous terrain, based on the hazard assessment of the Mines and Geoscience Bureau, 80% of the 1,172 barangays in the region are highly susceptible to landslides. Another 16% barangays are very highly susceptible. In terms of communication, the telcos has generally established their cell sites in the provinces, but again, the terrain impacts on the communication system in the region. Ayon sa National Telecommunications Commission noong 2018, meron lamang 299 o 1.8% ng 6,300 cell sites nationwide na matatagpuan sa CAR. Halos kalahati ng kabuuang bilang ng cell sites ay nasa Baguio City at Benguet.
Director Nancy, ano ang ilan sa mga halimbawa ng ating mga programang Science for the People sa CAR?
Naging inspirasyon ng buong DOST CAR team ang ating battle cry na Science for the People. Kaya sama-sama naming pinaigting ang mga iba't ibang programa sa technology transfer and commercialization. Bukod sa Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program or SETUP, ay ang Community Empowerment through Science and Technology or CEST. Itong programang ito ay tugon sa pangangailangan ng mga GIDA at LCAC areas ng mga angkop na science and technology interventions. Ang pinaka-latest na inilunsad ng DOST CAR ay ang Packaging Innovation Center. Bukod sa packaging label designs, compliant to mandatory packaging and labeling information, ay naidagdag na ngayon ang short-run printing ng designs. At since PIC service on short-run printing is new to DOST CAR this year, we have already served 14 MSMEs for the past 2 months. Ang plano dito ay unti-unti naming dadagdagan ang serbisyo ng PIC na ito. Ang PIC is strategic since we have already the established regional standards and testing laboratory composed of microbiological lab, chemical lab, and metrology lab. Base sa datos natin, ang RSTL ng DOST CAR ay siya lamang ang available dito sa region at internationally recognized ang 3 laboratories na ito. Inilunsad din natin ang commercial production ng enhanced Nutriban sa Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. Ito ay tugon sa problemang malnutrasyon at pwede rin ito na gamitin na alternative food products in times of calamities. Sa pangarap din ng rehiyon na lalong mapalago ang creative and weaving industry, ang DOST CAR ay nagpasimuno sa pag-craft o paggawa ng Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan, and this was approved and adopted as the regional plan by the RDC, Cordillera Administrative Region. Sa R&D, Incubation and Innovation Centers naman, sa nakalipas na 3 taon ay malaki ang improvement ng CAR sa bilang ng approved R&D projects and innovation centers na pinunduhan ng DOST-GIA. Masayang-masaya kami sa pag-approve at pag-establish ng Tuklas-Lunas Development Consortium, 2 NICER, 2 TBIs or Technology Business Incubation Centers, 3 Innovation Centers, NRCP and PSHERD funded regular R&D at iba pa. May na-submit din tayo na R&D proposals gaya ng Cradle at sana ay ma-approve ang mga iyon. The improving RDI initiatives in the region is because of the establishment of the Regional Research, Development, and Innovation Committee a support committee under the CAR-RDC, aside from the previously established 3 consortia. Gusto po natin ang momentum ng RDI efforts ng DOST CAR ay masustain, and lalo pag ma-approve yung Science for Change Act. Bago ko pa malimutan, at alam ni Sir Secboy po ito, ay may ongoing po na joint project namin with DOST FNRI. Maliit lang naman ang naiambag ng DOST CAR dito, pero mas malaki ang magiging impact nito, at ito ay ang bagong variant ng Enhanced Nutriban. Hindi ko na muna babanggitin kung anong variant ito, at malapit na po nating ilunsad ito sa pangunguna ni Sir Secretary. It was no less than the Secretary who encouraged FNRI and DOST CAR to come up with a new variant using the agri-commodity in CAR. In addition, para naman lalong maparating sa rehiyon ang mga programa ng DOST CAR, ay mayroon din kaming regular radio program na ang pangalan ay Siyensya, Teknolohiya at Inobasyon para sa Cordillera. And this is in partnership with DCEQ Radio Pilipinas Baguio. Sa larangan naman ng DRRM, ay ito ang pag-uusapan natin mamaya.
Maraming po salamat, ma'am. Dahil po sa mga programang pinapatupad ng DOST CAR, marami po sila nakamit ng mga karangalan. Ilan po dito ay ang Iyaman Award, isang Regional DRRM Award mula sa Office of the Civil Defense Cordillera mula 2019 hanggang 2021. May mga parangal din po para sa deployment ng Starbucks sa Rio. Ito ay yung Gold Anvil Award noong 2017 mula sa Public Relations Society of the Philippines at Certificate of Recognition at Iyaman Award mula sa DepEd CAR noong 2018 at 2020. Laboratory of Excellence Award and Outstanding Regional Testing Laboratory mula po sa Environmental Resource Associates at DOST Assured mula 2006 hanggang 2020. ISO 9001 certification mula sa Socotec Certification International noong 2009. At Director Nancy nabigyan po ng Presidential Lingkod Bayan Award. Ito lamang taon mula sa Civil Service Commission o CAR. Director Nancy, dahil po ang tema natin ngayong araw ay Science, Technology, and Innovation towards a Resilient Future. Ano po ongoing project ng DOST CAR? Ang malaki po ang tulong para sa isang matatag at matibay na kinabukasan para sa rehiyon.
Marami pong salamat sa tanong na iyan. Meron tayong 4 na mga proyekto para maitaguyod ang matatag at matibay na pag-unlad sa rehiyon. Unang-una po, meron tayong proyektong tinatawag na REACH or REACH o ang Radio Network Establishment for All-Weather Communications in the Highlands Project. Layunin nitong palawigin ang Provincial Communications Network for early warning and monitoring of hazards and incidents in the Cordilleras. Nagawa ito dahil sa pakikipagtulungan ng DOST CAR sa mga lokal na pamahalaan sa mga probinsya at munisipyo ng Cordillera. Bilang Vice Chair for the Cordillera Regional Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, inilunsad ang REACH program na ito noong July 30, 2021 sa mga probinsya ng Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, and Kalinga pagkatapos ng matagumpay na pilot project sa Mountain Province noong 2020. Magagamit ito sa mga operasyon ng ating mga lokal na DRRM councils sa ating mga LGUs at balak palawakin pa sa pangkabuuang level sa rehiyon. Bakit nga ba natin ito ginagawa? CAR is very unique in terms of topography. Almost 3/4 of CAR's land area have slopes of 30% and above. Consequently, the rugged terrain makes it difficult in terms of mobility and most importantly, communications. With this topographic uniqueness, Not all communities are served by the telcos even at this time of digital age. Even if cell sites are there, the signal is weak. And yet, communication, especially in times of natural calamities, becomes difficult and hinders having seamless early warning systems towards the goal of serving lives and properties. Thus, in areas where signal is weak and while DICT is persistently doing its share, the radio communication systems become the primary means of communication. We believe that the very high frequency radio communication system in our REACH project is a reliable network for disaster management. With this REACH project, no one will be beyond reach. Pangalawa ay itong CLEARS o Community Level Evaluation and Assessment of Rain-Induced Landslide Susceptibility Project. This is a joint project of the DOST and Kalinga State University that aims to enhance an existing non-expert tool for site-specific evaluation of rain-induced landslide susceptibility guidebook that was funded by DOST Fishered in 2008 through Balik scientist Dr. Putlay Jr. The CLEARS project will recalibrate the non-expert tool and will develop a mobile application for site-specific rain-induced landslide risk assessment in the region. Pangatlo po ay ang programang Bundok, a mountain engineering center towards sustainable infrastructure and upland water security, which seeks to enhance the industrial competitiveness of the Cordilleras in the field of agriculture, tourism, and mobility through mountain engineering solutions and to promote social and human development through upland water security. This is one of the two NICERs approved for CAR. Ang pang-apat po ay ang Science and Technology Action Frontlines for Emergencies and Hazards o SAFE program funded by DOST PICARD. This was already completed and paved the way for the introduction of SNT interventions on adaptation and mitigation measures at the farm level in all provinces in CAR. There is another proposal on landslide which we submitted and we hope for its implementation very soon.
Maraming salamat po, Director Nancy Ibantog mula sa DOST Cordillera Administrative Region. Makasama po natin si Director Nancy maya-maya po lamang. Pero sa ngayon, makasama naman natin si Ms. Rehiyon G. Bilguera, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST Region 2. Magandang araw po.
Isang magandang hapon po, Sir Olin, sa mga kasama kong director at maging sa lahat ng ating tagapanood.
Virgie, ano naman ang pinagkaiba ng Region 2 sa ibang rehiyon natin sa ating bansa?
Ang Region 2 o mas kilala bilang Cagayan Valley ay binubuo ng 5 provinces. Ito ay ang Batanes, Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino at Nueva Vizcaya. Ang Cagayan Valley din ay may total land area na 2.6 million square kilometers. About 993,000 square kilometers is suited for planting crops. Ang aming rehiyon din ay predominantly rural at agrikultura ang pangunahing pinagmumulan ng pangkabuhayan. Maliban doon, meron din 89 municipalities at 4 major cities sa region. Ito ay ang Tuguegarao City sa Cagayan, Ilagan, Santiago at Kawayan cities naman sa Isabela. Para tuloy-tuloy ang pagunlad ng cities at municipalities sa ito at para rin mas mapagsilbihan ang bawat komunidad sa region, plano namin magkaroon ng first ever Martyr City Belt sa Pilipinas na gusto rin namin ibahagi ang ideya na ito sa ibang rehiyon. Kaya naman kami ay naglunsad ng Smart Cities sa region. Una dyan ay ang Kawayan City na ating ibidetalye mamaya lamang.
Ma'am Rehiyon, ano naman po ang ilan sa halimbawa ng Science for the People programs ng DOST Region 2 na matagumpay po ninyo na ipagtutupad?
Sir Onin, kahit na tayo ay nasa isang pandemya, ang DOST Region DOST ay patuloy pa rin sa paghahatid ng mga programa at proyekto sa ating lipunan. Una na dito ay ang proyektong Smarter City. Sa tulong ng DOST Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development or DOST shared, nakabuo tayo ng Smarter City Framework na nagsisilbing gabay sa pagkokonsepto at pananaliksik ng mga smart solutions upang matugunan ang mga problema o pagsubok, hindi lamang sa mga urban cities, kundi ang buong Cagayan Valley. Ilalayon din ng DOST Smart City Framework na mapabuti ang research collaboration at mapagtuunan ng pansin ang magagandang research na may lasting impact sa ating lipunan. At para naman sa mga technologies na ready for industry application, ang DOST Region 2 ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin upang maging daan at mabigyan ng solution ang mga gaps between technology providers and users. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pagpondo sa mga research efforts for various applications. This partnership to expedite development with LGUs and targeted industries. Pilot, implement, and promote data sharing and utilization. Ang Smarter City ay gumagamit din ng ICT upang mapabuti ang kalidad ng buhay ng nakararami. Kabilang na dito ang efficiency of urban operations and services. Ang kauna-unahang beneficiaryo ng Smarter City Project natin sa Cagayan Valley ay ang Kawayan City. Sa tulong ng local government ng Kawayan City led by Mayor Bernard at Isabela State University headed by President Marty Aquino, ay naipatupad natin ang proyektong nakalinya sa ating smart transportation concept. Ito ang hybrid electric road train or HERD at electric scooter na hindi lamang nakakatulong sa pangunahing transportasyon ng lungsod, kundi nakakatulong sa ating kalikasan. At para tuloy-tuloy ang proyekto ay naisakatuparan din natin ang pagpapatayo ng Charging in Minutes or CHARM project. Nais ko lang din pong banggitin na nitong pandemic ay lubos natin na nagamit ang ating HERD and e-scooter, scooter project sa Kawayan City. Dahil dito, marami tayong mga frontliners and medical workers ang naihatid ng maayos at ligtas sa kanilang mga trabaho. Ngayon po ay 20 electric scooter na ang transported to the city for deployment last July 2021. And it is currently being configured by the team of Engineer Siglao of UP and LGU Kawayan City. We target to have its full implementation in the last quarter of 2021. Ang Kawayan City ay isa din po sa mga cities na benefited po nitong Project Paturo or platform for assessment and tracking of urbanization-related opportunities. At ang Project Sparta or the Smarter Philippines through Data Analytics R&D Training and Adoption, it was funded by DOST Shares. Currently, Kawayan City is in the process of completing and finalizing the matrix developed for Sparta. As to the Paturo project, units to track traffic patterns were installed in 200 bicycles last February 2021. Narito rin po ang ilan sa mga collaborative projects that the region is implementing and still working for the city under the Business Intelligence Research and Development Center or BIRDC. The BIRDC was established by Region 2, LGU Kawayan City, and Isabela State University to cater the need of the community in applying data science and analytics towards the development of smart technologies. Ang ilan sa mga proyektong under BIRDC ay ang ating Health Guard. Ito po ay isang contact tracing system na nakakatulong at ginagamit sa decision support system ng mga municipalities sa ating region upang makaprovide po tayo ng public health services. Kasalukuyan na po itong ginagamit LGU Kawayan, Ilagan, Taguig, and the province of Quirino for COVID-19 for contact tracing. Isa din po sa mga produkto ng ating BIRDC ay ang Smart Dengue Aid Warning System. The project aims to develop field tests and enhance dengue vector surveillance sa ating rehiyon. Ang Kawayan City bilang isang smarter city model ay naglalayong magkaroon ng maagap na detection, ma-prevent at ma-mitigate ang dengue case sa ating bansa. Ang ODC naman, ang project na ito ay this is implemented by the Sabela State University, which aims to apply data-driven process in generating safe, unsafe, and alternative evacuation areas for flood disaster habang ang iba po nating facilities ay ginagamit sa COVID-19 quarantine facilities. Isang malaking karangalan din po, ang Kawayan City is already in preparation for their ISO 37122 certification for smart and sustainable cities. And in support to this, kasalukuyan na po tayo nakikipag-coordinate with DOST Shared Office of the Undersecretary for Regional Operations and Sabela State University for LGU Kawayan City to be one of the pilot tests of the Project ROAM or Robust Optical Aerosol Monitor for air quality monitoring. Ito po ay isang completed research project under UP Diliman Institute of Chemistry at funded po ng DOST Shared and ating. Ang mga na-develop na teknolohiya ay magagamit sa Kawayan City to keep track of the air quality in various places. Isa din sa konsepto ng Smart City Project ay ang Smart MSME. Sa tulong ng flagship program ng DOST, the Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program ay mas natulungan natin ang mga micro, small, and medium enterprises na mag-abot sa mga iba't ibang uri ng technological innovation. Higit pa dito ay upang mas lalong ma-improve at ma-upgrade ang kanilang mga produkto, services, operations, at mapataas ang kanilang productivity. Nais ko lang din pong banggitin ng DOST Region 2 from 2002 to 2020 ay nakapag-achieve po ng 782 MSMEs with a total amount of about 655 million pesos. The program has also generated about 30,000 employees and sales amounted to about 22 billion. From the year it started up to December 2020. At the end of the second quarter of 2021, 97 firms have been assisted with about 97 million innovation funds. Sa pamamagitan po ng ating first ever government-owned e-commerce platform na onestore.ph ay tinulungan po natin silang mas mapalawak ang kanilang merkado. Ang onestore.ph din ay lumawak ang serbisyo para makapagbigay ng solutions sa mga suliranin sa pag-market sa mga produkto ng Filipino MSME. Ito ay ang mga sumusunod. One Store Hub. Ang onestore.ph Hub ay isang physical store na makikita sa iba't ibang rehiyon ng ating bansa. Kasama sa mga binebenta dito ay mga produkto ng ating mga MSMEs. At present ay nakapagtayo tayo ng 35 established and maintained One Store Hub nationwide. Meron din tayong One Store Kiosk. Ito ay nag-showcase during the National Science and Technology Week and able to sell 370,000 worth of Filipino products. One Store Vending Machine ay automated machine that provides ready-to-eat and ready-to-drink local products. Meron din tayong One Store Global. Ang One Store Global is a cross-border platform for local products. It acts as business-to-business platform for export companies to expand the market of MSMEs. Overall, more than 100 ready-to-export products were uploaded. Meron din tayong tinatawag na Smarter Education. Under the Smarter Education ay ang establishment ng ating Cagayan Valley Science Center at maging ang aming continuous dissemination sa SNT material po sa ating mga teachers and students. Patuloy po tayong nagkakaroon ng online trainings about Starbucks, online and offline versions. Nais ko lang din pong banggitin ng DOST Region 2 ay ang kauna-unahang DOST Regional Office na nagkaroon ng Starbucks Olympiad. Ito ay isang uri ng competition na kung saan ay papamalas ng mga participant ang kanilang galing sa SNT subject at maging ang aralin tungkol sa Starbucks. In Region 2, all schools in the cities of Santiago and Cagayan were installed with Starbucks offline version.
Nang dahil sa patuloy na suporta ng dating Regional Director na si Undersecretary Engineer Sancho A. Mabora at siyempre ni Secretary Boy, ang DOST Region 2 ay nagkamit ng 3 major awards. Noong 2015, naparangalan ng DOST Region 2 ng Level 1 or Recognition of Commitment to Quality Management Philippine Quality Award or PQA. Noong 2019 naman ay nakamit nila ang PQA Level 2 for the recognition for proficiency in quality management. Meron din silang International Publication Award dahil sa isang research titled Effect of Radiation Modified Kappa-Carcinogen as Plant Growth Promoter on Peanut. Maliban dyan, maraming karangalan din ang natanggap ng Brainchild Project ng DOST Region 2. Ang One Store, kabilang dito ang most quality and pasalubong provider in the whole country. Noong 2016, mula sa National Customers Choice Awards Council, mayroon ding Best Pasalubong Treats Provider mula sa Golden Globe Annual Awards for Business Excellence at noong 2017 ay itinanghal sila bilang World Class Philippine Company ng World Class Philippines Council. Meron din silang Gold and Silver Anvil Awards para sa Starbucks sa kanilang rehiyon at marami pong ibang mga karangalan.
Ano naman ang mga halimbawa, Virgin, ng mga programa natin sa inyong rehiyon na nakatutulong para sa resilient future ng inyong rehiyon at ng ating bansa?
Just this month, katatapos lang namin i-launch ang project Saray sa Tubigal City. We would like to thank you PLB Saray team and LGU Tubigal City for their partnership with us. Launching Saray is part of DOST and LGU Tubigal City's initiative in creating a smart Ibanag city by incorporating smart agriculture. Maliban doon, nagkaroon din kami ng launching ng church sa Ilagan City, Isabela. Isa itong SNT initiative upang matugunan nila ang kanilang goal to become a livable city through the partnership with LGU Ilagan led by Mayor Diaz. Sa launching at MOA signing na ito, nagkaroon ng partnership ang DOST at LGU Ilagan pagdating sa paggawa ng parts ng ating hybrid electronic train. Malaking tulong ito lalo na sa mga local manufacturers upang magkaroon sila ng karagdagang hanap buhay. We have smart technologies and innovations made for the COVID response of our region. In Cagayan City, Isabela, we have launched the Cagayan City Care COVID-19 Consult or C5 Telehealth Project. Ang layunin nito ay mag-establish ng call center na tutugon sa health-related questions. Ang huli dyan ay ang patuloy na pagbigay ng smart technologies sa tulong ng aming CES project. Dahil ang CES is one of our primary tools in identifying SNT needs in the region. Halimbawa dito ay ang pag-promote ng smart education sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng Starbucks needs. Maliban dyan, nag-distribute din tayo ng portable solar drying trays para sa ating mga MSMEs sa region upang mapadali ang kanilang production.
Alright. Muli po, maraming salamat, Ms. Virginia G. Bilguera, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST Region 2. Ngayon naman po, makakausap natin si Mr. Noel Ahok, ang Officer in Charge sa DOST CARAGA. Magandang araw po.
Magandang araw po, Sir Onen.
Noel, maaari mo ba kaming bigyan ng maikling profile ng iyong rehiyon, ang CARAGA region?
Yes po, no. Magandang araw po, Sekboy at saka Onen, no. Ang CARAGA po ay napakaganda at saka napakayaman na lugar at nagpapasalamat po kami, Sekboy, na magbigyan kami ng pagkakataon na mas showcase natin ang CARAGA sa ating mga manunood. Ang CARAGA region po ay tinalaga bilang Region 13, ay isa sa pinakabagong region sa buong bansa noong February 23, 1995 through Republic Act number 7901. Ito po ay may 5 probinsya. Ang Agusan del Norte, siya po ang Agri-Processing and Estates Zone na probinsya kung saan matagpuan ang Butuan City, ang ating regional center. Mayroon po tayong pangalawang probinsya, ang Agusan del Sur. Ito po yung Agri-Forestry Center and Food Basket of the region. Nandito rin po ang Agusan Mars, no? The most ecologically significant wetlands in the country. We also have Dinagat Islands. Ito po ang Ecotourism and Fisheries Center of the region. Ang Surigao del Norte is the major ecotourism destination. Nandito po ang sikat na Siargao Island na ang ating surfing capital ng bansa. At ang Surigao din po ay napakayaman po sa mineral-based processing na sector, no? And of course, ang Surigao del Sur, ang atin pong agro-industrial fishery and forestry zone. Ang CARAGA po ay tinatawag po yan na Timber Corridor of the Philippines kasi po binubuo po ito ng forest land na 71%. Napakayaman din namin po ng mineral deposit kasi number 1 po ang CARAGA din sa mineral industry. Meron kaming ginto, meron tayong iron, nickel, chromite, manganese, copper at saka iba't iba pa. No? We have 25 companies. Sa katunayan po, ang ating regional development plans ay naka-anchor po sa FAME. No? Tinatawag po niya na FAME dahil Fishery, Agroforestry, Mineral and Ecotourism Center po ng country. Gustihan po ang ating ambition po na magiging FAME center po tayo ng bansa, Sekboy.
Okay. Sir Noel, ano naman po ilan sa halimbawa ng Science for the People programs ng DOST Region CARAGA na may malaking naitutulong po para sa mga mamayan doon?
Marami po tayong mga proyekto na ginawa para makatulong po on bringing science to the people of CARAGA. At ang mga ito po ay naka-align po sa vision ng aming rehiyon na sinasabi ko kanina na FAME, Forestry, Agroforestry, Mineral and Ecotourism. Dahil po malakas ang ating tourism industry sa CARAGA, lalo na nung before COVID and we believe after COVID, babalik po yan, sisigla yan. We deployed po our food safety team at na-develop po natin, tinatawag natin na Food Establishment Inspection and Grading System para po ma-encourage natin ang food establishment sa tourist destination natin sa CARAGA na mag-adhere po ng food standards, rules, and regulation. Ginawa po natin yan na pilot sa Siargao at naging successful po. No? Talagang napa-improve natin yung pagsunod nila sa food safety standards. At dahil doon po, ang business talaga namin ay hindi lang magandang mga buhangin at mga tanawin, kundi ang tubig po, we installed DOST-funded na R&D output of Adamson University. Dinala po namin doon ang eco-friendly septic system para po ma-assure natin na yung mga wastewater, mga sewage natin doon ay ma-process po ng maigi at talagang mapanatili natin ang magandang tubig doon. No? At dahil po mayaman tayo sa minerals, nag-adapt din po tayo ng clean gem technology, yung cyanide and mercury-free na technology. Sa ngayon po, ini-implement natin ang pilot project sa Agusan del Norte para po magkaroon tayo ng sustainable po na processing ng gold po dito sa aming rehiyon. Sa pamagitan ng teknolohiya na ito na din-develop po ng UP Diliman, nakita namin na magiging kahit sa ibang mga lugar ma-adapt po siya at makatulong po sa ating mga small-scale miners. Dahil kami po ay number 1 din sa timber industry, atin na rin babanggitin ang mga programa tungkol sa pangangailangan ng rehiyon sa food industry sa timber industry. Sa layunin na ma-upgrade ang wood-based industry sa region para sa sustainable inclusive growth ng bansa, ang ating pong CARAGA State University ay nabigyan ng research grant under sa NICER program natin. So need centers in the region para ma-establish ang Industrial Tree Plantation Species Research and Innovation Center. Ang ITPS po, ang tawag namin dyan, ay inasahang gagawa ng iba't ibang science, technology, and innovation initiatives para po sa ikaunlad ng industrial tree plantation po ng CARAGA. At hindi lang yan, nag-assist po tayo sa kabuuan ng around 8.8 million sa 25 MSMEs para po sa furniture sector para may value adding naman po, no? At sa pamagitan po ng setup, we funded around 54 million sa 47 MSMEs para naman sa agricultural sector, para yung mga agricultural products natin ay ma-process. At panghuli, no, during this time of COVID, siyempre marami pong na-work from home o wala pong trabaho, para po mapalago po natin yung kaalaman naman ng mga tao para po marunong silang mag-process at makapagtrabaho din. We partner with Coursera po for 75,000 slots sa lahat ng Pilipino sa bansa. So lumagpas po kami sa CARAGA region at sa awa ng Diyos po, maganda po ang performance, no? Nakapag-aral sila sa best universities around the world na mayroon po silang more than 147 courses na nakumpleto. At sa ngayon po, nag-continue po tayo sa program na yan kasi kailangan din namin ng knowledge din ang mga Karaganon para po yung mayaman namin at magandang rehiyon ay mapaunlad natin gamit po ng mga kaalaman ng aming mga mamamayan po.
Alright. Dahil po sa hindi manatawarang serbisyo ng DOST sa CARAGA region, nabigyan po ng parangal ang kanilang mga natulungan negosyo at komunidad. Halimbawa nito, naging national finalist sa Setup Praise Award ang kanilang setup adapters na Mapesco noong 2019 at ang Millennium Rice Mill noong 2020 na itinahal naman bilang most resilient MSME. Pasok naman po sa top 3 finalists for 2 consecutive years ang SAS community ng CARAGA region, ito ang Jabonga, Agusan del Norte.
Noel, siguro ngayon naman ay pwede mo kaming bigyan ng mga halimbawa ng inyong mga proyekto na may kinalaman sa pagsisiguro na magkaroon ng resilient future ang CARAGA at ang ating bansa.
Tungkol po sa resiliency, no? Dito po sa CARAGA nag-implement tayo ng pilot project, tinatawag natin yan ng STORM, Science and Technology Operations for Risk Reduction and Management. Ang layunin po natin dyan, na in partnership with our local government units, magamit po natin yung maganda nating mga technology like LiDAR-based projects. No? We deployed po ang lahat ng mga LiDAR maps natin, yung high resolution natin na maps na 1 meter ang resolution doon sa mga LGUs. No? At saka through this project din po, dineployed po natin yung flood forecasting system ng CARAGA State University sa lahat po ng Minor River Basin. At saka yung flood LiDAR evidence sa technology na mamaya i-highlight ko yung specific na topic na deployment na yan. And of course, we deployed our technology developed by DOST4E, yung HANDA at saka LGUIDS para ma-automate po natin yung pag-disseminate ng mga information. Dahil po sa storm, we are able to establish po storm centers, no? Na nandoon po yung mga LiDAR maps, nandoon yung LGUIDS technology, maka-access sila sa mga sensors, napakaraming sensors po, more than 200 sensors sa buong CARAGA, mga rain gauges, water level, ma-access po nila doon. So 11 LGUs po ang naging partner natin. Ang pangalawa po ay tinulungan natin ang CARAGA State University sa pag-deploy ng flood evidence tawag na technology. Ano ba itong technology na ito? Gusto kong i-highlight ito. Ito po ay output po ng LiDAR projects natin. Ang napakagandahan po ng flood evidence is with this technology, we can do scenario building. Kunyari, may darating na bagyo, sabihin ng Pag-asa like 200 mm ang bagyo, we can input the number and we can specifically pinpoint kung sinong bahay ang mababahaan. So even before the rain, even before the flood, pag sinabi ng Pag-asa na ito ang ulan, pwede natin pong mabigyan ng warning ang ating mga mamamayan, specific na bahay, hindi yung lugar, bahay, and then we can pre-evacuate. In fact po, kaya po medyo manipis ang buhok ko ngayon, we partner po with the Philippine Army, no? This Sunday po, we partner po kasi they have piloted the creation of 1 reserve battalion in Agusan del Sur kasi flood prone po talaga kami, na sila po ang tutulong doon sa mga response. And we will use flood evidence para bago po sila darating yung bagyo, makatulong po sila on pre-evacuation, no? Kasi ma-pinpoint natin na ito ang may baha even before nandito ang bagyo. So, yan po ang partnership natin with the Philippine Army Reserve Command ng CARAGA. Pilot po ito sa buong bansa. And of course, nag-install tayo ng sensors. At hindi lang yan, even in this pandemic, gumawa po din tayo ng maraming initiatives. We think magamit natin sa pagiging model natin dito sa CARAGA, like we deployed collection of specimen boat. At hindi lang yan, gumawa po kami ng local version, yung talagang nakita ng doktor natin na partner na inventor na mas madali pong gamitin talaga ng mga medical practitioner. Pina-improve natin, no? Hindi lang yan, kahit may COVID po, ginamit po natin ito na oportunidad po, yung innovativeness ng mga Karaganon. Kaya gumawa tayo ng Online Makers Challenge. Marami pong nag-join dito at saka a lot of ideas po, no, ang lumabas dahil sa Online Makers Challenge kung ano ba yung innovation tungkol dito sa problem natin sa COVID. Ginawa po natin yan. And of course, nakita namin na during this time of COVID, maraming thermal scanner. Ang problema, tama ba yung temperature na kinuha? So ang ginawa natin is, mayroon tayong metrology laboratory sa CARAGA, nag-deploy po tayo ng verified and certified thermal scanners para magiging comparison device po na para tama yung pagkuha ng mga LGU natin, no? At saka ibang mga entities. At dito po sa Butuan, we partner with Butuan City po para matulungan na mapabilis yung testing. We partner with them in the acquisition of equipment para po sa testing po ng COVID. And of course, kahit po yung CEST community natin, nagiging partner po, no? In fact, yung CEST community, yung Community Empowerment Science and Technology, through Science and Technology na site natin sa Habunga, yung nagiging winner, sinabi natin kanina, gumagawa po sila ng face mask para sa frontliners at saka mga residents para makatulong sa. And lastly, ang ating pong Food Innovation Center, no? Nag-develop po sila ng nutrient packed food po para po ma-boost ang immune system ng frontliners. Nag-develop sila ng pagkain para po sa frontliners. So yan po ang mga initiatives natin dito sa CARAGA for Resiliency SecBoy.
Muli po maraming salamat Mr. Noel Ahok, ang officer in charge sa DOST CARAGA. SecBoy, baka may mga nais po kayo ibabati sa ating mga panauhin at mga taga-subaybay.
Una, nagpapasalamat ako sa ating mga panauhin ngayon, si Virgie Bilguera, si Director Nancy Bantug, at saka si Engineer Noel Ahok na nagre-represent sa 3 regions ng DOST. At ang ating topic nga ay may kinalaman sa resilient future. Ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize dito ay binigyang pansin natin ang pangangailangan ng mga rehiyon na ito, particular na yung mga unique needs nila para sa kanilang resiliency. Halimbawa sa Region 2 ay meron nga tayo ng Smart Water Infrastructure Management Research and Development Center na nakabase sa Isabela State University. Ang tawag diyan ay SWIM. Okay? Doon naman sa CAR, meron tayo ng Mountain Engineering Center toward Sustainable Infrastructure and Upland Water Security. At doon naman sa ating CARAGA ay meron tayong Industrial Tree Plantation Species Research and Innovation Center. Kung mapapansin mo, kaiba yan doon sa ibang mga niche research center na mga nakafocus sa mga agricultural commodities. Okay? Ito ay nakikita natin ay nakatutok naman doon sa pangangailangan ng rehiyon na may kinalaman sa resilience. Yung isa tungkol sa tubig, yung isa tungkol sa infrastructure sa matataas na lugar, sa mga bundok, at yun namang sa CARAGA, ito yung pagkakaroon natin ng enough supply para sa mga tree plantations natin. Ayan ay makadadagdag sa ating resilience, hindi lamang sa rehiyon, kung hindi sa ating buong bansa. Kaya inaasahan ko na magbibigay ng todong support ang ating regional offices diyan sa ating mga nicer centers na nakalocate sa kanilang mga rehiyon. So muli, maraming salamat sa inyo.
Sa aming pong pagbabalik, makasama po namin ni Secretary Boy ang mga panauhin sa pagsagot sa mga tanong ng bayan. Huwag po kayong bibitiw, magbabalik pa ang DOST Report.
Gusto ko po sana na makater din yung mga guest na gustong pumunta ng Tawi-Tawi at naghahanap talaga ng halal certified na restaurant.
Assalamu alaikum o peace be with you.
Samahan natin ang ating kababayang Muslim sa pagpapaunlad ng halal food gamit ang science.
Dito sa Siyensya, Pinoy Popular Science para sa lahat.
Oras na para sagutin ni Sekboy at ang ating mga panauhin ang tanong ng bayan. Para sa unang katanungan mula kay Divina Pastora Reyes, Unlad Bayan NCR News Weekly at Anthony Salceda, The Philippine Post News Today. Dr. Nancy A. Bantog, paano niyo po epektibong ibinutupad ang REACH project sa Cordillera Autonomous Region ngayong panahon ng pandemya na napakaraming mga restrictions?
Maraming salamat po sa tanong na yan. Opo, ang REACH po ay nailungsad namin ni na Secretary noong RSTW sa Mountain Province noong 2019. That was November. And that's the pilot project, pilot portion of that project. And that was completed in 2020. Actually, na-delay nga because of the pandemic. The mobility was restricted, but we were able to finish it and did the turnover last July. And with that pilot, the successful pilot project in Mountain Province, we launched the same project with improvements in the other 5 provinces. We are still doing our best, doing virtual platforms in terms of coordination. So as of today, of the 5 provinces, we already finished the first part, and that is the site assessment and the propagation testing. We already submitted the network design to the 3 PLGUs, the governors of the 3 PLGUs before we will do the next step. As well, we really have difficulties or challenges in this pandemic, but we do virtual platforms as much as possible. Thank you po.
Tanong naman po mula kay Bel Suraran ng Radyo Aquila Net 25, kay Ms. Virgie G. Vilguera, kamusta po ang mga unang tinawag na Smart City in terms of pagpapasulong, pagpapaunlad, dagham at teknolohiya sa rehiyon?
Maraming salamat po sa inyong katanungan. Ang Kawayan City ang kauna-unahang smarter city na itinatag sa Cagayan Valley. Sila ang namuno sa lokalisasyon ng 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals na kung saan ipinatupad dito ang mga DOST-developed smart technologies. Kabilang na dito ang mga R&D outputs from DOST R&D councils and institutes, including the R&D centers in the region, katulad ng Paturo Project, Saray Project, HERT, Science Centrum, at marami pang iba. Nakakatulong ito sa implementasyon ng kanilang mga laws and policies, improvement and automation of processes, and also cater the need of the community in applying data science and analytics. Sa ngayon, ang Kawayan Smarter City ay nasa estado na ng paghahanda para sa kanilang ISO 37122 certification for smart and sustainable cities upang mapabuti ang paghahatid ng mga programa at serbisyo sa publiko. Sa tulong ng ating Smarter City Belt at sa tagumpay ng Smarter City Project, ay hindi na lamang ang Kawayan City ang nais naming tulungan ngayon, kundi maging ang iba't ibang cities and municipalities sa rehiyong DOST upang matugunan ang mga challenges in relation to sustainable urban development sa pamamagitan ng implementasyon ng science, technology, and innovation.
Ito naman po itanong mula kay Mary Tenorio ng Siyensya na Teknopan ng Radyo Aquila. Kung NCR ay nakapaglunsad na ng DOST NCR Setup e-Caravan Virtual Kick-Off last October 5, 2021, ano po ang plano ng DOST CARAGA para ma-showcase ang kanilang mga teknolohiya at mga projects?
Ang gawin natin dito, kasi malapit na po ang schedule namin sa RSTW in December, yan po ang we have organized a series of activities po para mapaabot po natin yung mga programa, for example, yung setup para ma-invite natin sila na mag-avail, no? And other programs like iForward, no? We also market it through. Ang target po natin dyan ay ngayong December through our series of activities, doon po natin ilunsad. Hindi na po kami gagawa ng set-up caravan, sabay na po natin ang ating caravan sa Regional Science and Technology Week celebration.
Alright. Maraming pong salamat. Sec Boy, bago po tayo magtapos, imbitahan po natin ang ating mga taga-subaybay na abangan ng Siyensya bukas.
Alugod namin kayong inaanyayahan na panoorin ang bago naming series ng Siyensya, Pinoy Science para sa lahat. At ito ay mapapanood ninyo sa CNN tuwing Sabado mula sa 8 hanggang 8:08 ng umaga at may rerun sa alas 4 hanggang alas 4:30 ng hapon. At kung araw ng linggo ay ganun ding oras mapapanood din ng 8 hanggang 8:30 ng umaga at sa hapon ay 4 hanggang 4:30 ng hapon. Simula po bukas ay ito na yung pangalawang episode sa bago naming series na may kinalaman sa halal.
Alright. Abangan po ninyo mga kaibigan ang Siyensya sa CNN Philippines tuwing Sabado alas 8 ng umaga at may replays din po ng Sabado alas 4 ng hapon at Linggo alas 8 ng umaga at alas 4 ng hapon. Abangan nyo rin po ang bagong programa ng DOST TV na hatid namin para sa mga kids at kids at heart, ang Animagham tuwing Lunes alas 8 ng umaga at abangan din po ang Expert Talk Online tuwing Miyerkules at Bantay Vulkan tuwing Webes alas 5 ng hapon kasama si Jen Miranda sa DOST TV Facebook page at YouTube channel. At syempre, dahil hindi pa awat ang DOST sa pag-atid na mga kalaman sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon, nais po namin balita na muling idaraos ng DOST ang virtual celebration ng 2021 National Science and Technology Week sa darating na November 22 hanggang 28, 2021. Sa katunayan, nagsimula na rin po magdaos ng mga regional NSTW sa iba't ibang rehiyon upang ipakita ang mga bagong produkto at siyensya na at inobasyon na makatutulong sa ating mga mamamayan. Bisitahin lamang ang www.nstw.gov o .dost.gov.ph para sa karagdagang impormasyon at schedules ng NSTW activities. Mas marami pang balita mula sa mundo ng siyensya at teknolohiya ang ating pag-usapan. Kaya tutok lamang po tuwing Biyernes, alas 4 ng hapon dito sa DOST TV Facebook page. Ako po si Oren Granda. Ito ang mga balita may kinalaman sa siyensya at teknolohiya para sa bawat Pilipino. Straight from the S&T Authority ng bansa. Ito ang DOST Report.